Hello everybody. Right, so we're here in Oldham at what's remaining of the famous, not so famous anymore, Tommyfield Market. Now, I think it was in the early 2000s that the council thought it'd be an absolutely wonderful idea to knock down the thriving market. As you remember, we used to have stalls all the way around here, all around the perimeter, packed out, fruit and veg stalls. And then in the middle we had the hobby, what's it called, the, you know, that thing that span round with things on it, kids went on it, carousel, that's it. And yeah, they took all that out, put in a car park. They're really fond of car parks in Oldham, but I don't get why they're putting so many car parks in, because everything they do just kills the town slowly. And yes, I am on my soapbox today. Look at this pigeon over here, look at it cleaning. It's one of my favourite ones, that. You know, the wood pigeon. I'm not sure if it's a full-on wood. I think it's a wood crossed with a flea pigeon. You know the type I mean, don't you? Oh, I wished off it then. So yeah, anyway, they basically have these great ideas where they sort of knock down our heritage and then put in these car parks. But as I said, I really don't understand why they're bothering, because everything they do just sort of like kills the town slowly. And the latest fantastic idea is that what they're going to do is they're going to knock down what remains of the market, which, to be fair, may as well, because it's dead anyway. I mean, look at it. It's not exactly thriving. It's 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. It should be packed out with shoppers, but it's not. And the reason why it's not is because when they took out the original market and put in this car park, they basically killed Tommyfield Market for what it was. Now, Oldham's original market started in 1788. That was the earliest record of a market in Oldham. And then in later years, I'm not entirely sure what year, I think it was the late 17, early 18s, the market basically moved here. Now, this land used to be owned by a guy called Thomas Whitaker, and he was a local landowner. And they set up the markets here, and people had come, sell fruits, veggies, foods, services. And yeah, and it grew into the wonderful Tommyfield Market that we all used to really like. And then, like I said, they decided to get rid of the wood stalls, put in these ones that really don't, they're not even, you know what, they're not even lined up straight. It's just no heart in it anymore. And basically what they decided to do now, this is the next great idea, they're going to move everybody from the market, but there isn't any traders, and all the people outside the market hall, inside the market hall, and they're going to put them in the spindles, and then they're going to knock down the whole lot, and I imagine install another car park. So as we see it now, and the reason why I've come to sort of film it, I'm actually fuming about it as I talk about it, gets me hair off. But yeah, as you see it now, this is all going to go. I imagine they'll extend the car park all the way down, and yeah, that's it. It's the end. I don't know. The Spindles is empty, isn't it? You know, retail's dead. But I will say this: if you go to Ashton, this is beautiful here. Look at this old electric box. We'll have a look at this. Yeah, if you go to Ashton, you'll see that Ashton's still got a really good market. It's an old market, and the town's thriving. Honestly, it's absolutely thriving. If you go to Ashton, flea markets on a Tuesday, markets packed out. You've got farmers markets coming from all over. You've got, it's a Lucy Oxford, this. Look at that. I reckon it's 60s, don't you? Yeah, so you've got, like I said, in Ashton, you've got a thriving market. They haven't, you know, demolished it to put a car park in. They've got enough car parks, and they've supported the locals. They've kept the market, and they've kept the heart in the town. And as a result, they've managed to still now, even after COVID, went down the other week, I can vouch for it, still thriving, and all is good. So the other thing is as well, this particular hall here, this market hall, see, I thought this was the one that was built, because when I was a kid we used to come in the market hall. Now the one that stood here before, the Victoria Market Hall, that one got burnt down on the 6th of October 1974, Now my mum lived over on Doncaster, just up on St Mary's, and she said you could see the blaze. Apparently people could see the blaze from miles around, and literally businesses were decimated. There's actually footage of it, you know, on YouTube. I'll try and find out where it is and put the link in if I can find it, but it's got the aftermath. Oh, did I ask the person who owned it if I could use it? I think I did. I'll check back through my emails on the notes actually, and I'll just ask if I can. I think he did say I could, and if I can I'll put it in this video. But yeah, this particular structure here was built in the 90s. I always thought there was another, but apparently that was a temporary building. But inside the market, things are still vibrant. Let's have a walk down here. See if we can not get thrown out for filming. So yeah, I mean, these people are going to be moved into the Spindles apparently. In fact, I might go and ask that fella there what he thinks about it. So anyway, yeah, I didn't put him on, I didn't put the guy on camera, and I won't say which shop it is, just because I've not had the permission to. No, I didn't ask. But he's basically just told me that they've got 2 years, they're giving the traders 2 years to move out. Now apparently they're going to be offering them alternative trading units within the Spindle shopping centre. But he just said to me then, he said, nah, he said, I won't be going in there. He said, I'd rather just go and move somewhere else, i.e. to another location within the town, I would imagine, than move into the Spindles, because it's faceless, isn't it? And I was just saying to him then, I just said, what the hell are they doing it for? He says, well, apparently when they knock down this particular indoor market, they're going to be putting houses here apparently, or flats. Yeah, because I said, what? He said, I said, what they're going to do? Are they going to extend the car park? He went, probably. I said, but no one's going to come up. And he said, yeah. He said, the idea is they're going to put the car park in and then build the flats. And that's it. But the question is, you know, like, where do they stop? You know, is Henshaw Street up next then? One of the oldest streets in Oldham. And the fact is, everything that they do, and I will go on record and say this, it seems to me, and this is my opinion, if you're still allowed one, that everything they do is basically just to decimate the town. This isn't this to me, being perfectly honest with you, I don't think is going to be of any benefit to Oldham whatsoever. None. And I'm talking about the trading side of Oldham. The fact that they're putting homes in isn't bad. People need places to live, and actually, going back to years ago, Oldham Market used to be covered, surrounded by terraced houses and people that lived in the town. So that in itself isn't a bad thing. But, you know, look at the Levers. Levers Chippy's been here for hundreds of years, I think, hasn't it? The home of fish and chips. Now there is a bit of a debate about whether it was Levers that did it, but in any event, this will be gone. Won't be here anymore. See, look, we'll have a look at the sign here. $18.60. Now, while we're up here, I'm going to take advantage of showing you around the Hilton Arcade. So it's JH and LH. Now, there's a family that's buried in Chadderton Cemetery. They've got a massive, massive, massive gravestone, and they're called the Hiltons. Now, the Hilton family they were called clothiers, but clothiers. So I think they manufactured cloth. And interestingly enough, the Hiltons and the Mellows were the other family from Oldham that were into cloth. They were velvet makers, and they were quite prominent in, this is interesting arcade, by the way. If you come down, you can read loads of histories. This chap here, he's buried in St Margaret's Church in in Hollingwood, just at bottom of Chapel Road. That's Joseph. That photograph was taken by Squire Knott, who used to have a shop on Yorkshire Street, where the Squire Knott pub used to be. Yeah, so anyway, the Hiltons, in fact, let me just show you these windows here. Look at these, absolutely beautiful. And up the top there is a walkway where you can actually walk around. But I believe, we'll have a look at the front of it, but I'm pretty sure that this was made in 1906? Might be completely wrong with that. But it's absolutely beautiful. Look at it. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so the Hilton family, they married into, or the Mellejews of Shulver, they married in, or Moorside, they married into the Hiltons, and both the families merged. So I think probably the Hiltons were manufacturers of cloth, and the Mellejews were manufacturers of velvet. There's the famous swimmer Henry. I'm going to be doing a video on Henry. I've got all of his life story, and it's actually quite an interesting one. Now I'll tell you what is interesting. Henry was a 4-time Olympic gold winner. And he used to train, right, listen to this, he used to work full-time in the mills. Now full-time, back in the early 1900s in the mills, like these blokes here, full-time in the mills were like 6 in the morning, well 6 at night. Aside of that, he then went and he would swim at the side of, in the boating lake, in the park, in Alexandra, and then if he couldn't, as a treat, what he would do is he would go and, oh look, that's the thing that was made by Bradley's, I think that one is, Bradbury. That was bought out by the blokes that did the video on the Rothwells. Anyway, I'm jumping ahead and again. So Henry Taylor used to do all of his training in the park, and then when he had a bit of money, he would pay to go to Chadderton. And at Chadderton, what they would do is they would have 3 days. What they would do, so they would have the first day, which was the clean water day. The second day was the obviously not so clean water day, and then the third day was the dirty water day, and that was the day that Henry used to go because he couldn't afford anything else basically. So it was a treat, he used to go there, and then when he couldn't afford to go there, he used to go to the boating lake in Alexander Park, and you'd see him going up and down. There's also rumour, that's the old Grand Theatre, which used to be butterflies by the way. There's also a rumour that he also used to train in Rochdale Canal. Literally wherever there were water, he would go in it and he would be swimming. But anyway, Henry brought back 4 gold Olympic medals to Oldham. And it's interesting, isn't it, that he hasn't got a statue to him. Or they haven't got a statue to him. I think they should have a statue to him. Anyway, let's have a look at the front of it from the other side. Oh yeah, we're completely wrong on that date. It's 1893. I don't know why I thought 19 something. So it was built 1893, and that would be when Thomas Hilton was still alive. Or is it John Hilton? I get confused. I'll check it out. But yeah, Hilton Arcade, and I think, I mean, as we know, the prominent businessmen of Oldham basically built the town that we're looking at. That's still what bit of it's still left. You know, like the Platts built the Lyceum, as well as other buildings around Oldham. And then this one here, this white building here, this was the other arcade. There was 2 arcades once in Oldham. It's now Sports Direct. You know, I was just looking at this. Future ideas of Oldham. So you've got that there, which obviously is Parliament Square now. Then you've got the Anchor down in Westwood. They've got designs on changing that area into what you see there. And then the OFC Hotel. One thing that strikes me about all these new vision ideas is it's all crap, it all looks shitty. So yeah, there's loads of people from history here. See this lady here? You might know who she is, you might not. She was Dame Eva Turner. She was actually a soprano. She was from Oldham, but she left Oldham when she was very young and moved to London. And then you've got the cooling towers, which used to be up, and I think that's Louise, you know, the first test tube baby who was born. And that there is the old market hall. And those lions are outside the old local interest centre near Sainsbury's. And there's the arcade we're in now. Years ago, when you used to have that newsagents, I ended up getting a good scratch card out there and won 50 quid once. And that's the interior of the market. That's the outside of the market there. And how it used to be. That's where Halifax is now, I think, roughly. Market Hotel. So it's funny, isn't it? Oh look, there's William Walton, good composer. He was from Werneth as well. His father was the choir master at St Thomas's in Werneth. Or is it St John's? Oh, I don't know, I forget. Yeah, no, St John's it is. But I was just saying, it's really funny, and you know, you've got this wall with all this beautiful history here. We're obviously very proud of it. But then, oh, there's Annie Kenny, look. But then they just continue to rip it all down. I don't know, I'll give up. There's nothing I can do anyway. They're just going to do what they're going to do. All I can do is come up here, film it and document it, so that at least we've got something we can look back on when it's all gone, because believe me, it's all going slowly and surely. They're taking it all away from us, and we don't do anything about it. We just vote them in every year, let them carry on doing what they're doing, and nothing changes. So that's me as a whiner video. So anyway, we're going to make our way back up now through the market, and then I'm going to go back to the car and get going, because I've paid 80p for half an hour, and apparently the wardens are very good at coming and finding you and putting fines on your car. So I don't need that on top of everything else. So yeah, let's have a last look at the market hall.
ها؟ لا تخيل